Have you ever felt like an invisible ghost, unintentionally ignored, misinterpreted, or even trampled on by others? They test your limits with snide remarks and provocative actions, as if respect were a luxury item they can choose whether or not to afford. Are you tired of holding back? Do you long to be treated fairly and with respect? Then don't stay silent any longer. This video is for you. Today I will share smart ways to deal with people who disrespect you, helping you build self-esteem, set clear boundaries, and reclaim the respect you deserve. All of this is done with sincerity yet assertiveness, enabling you to protect yourself without compromising your dignity. Let's embark on this journey to rediscover respect for yourself. Using the silent gaze. Have you ever wielded the secret weapon known as the silent gaze? It may sound simple, but don't underestimate its power. Among the treasure trove of situational handling techniques, this is one of my absolute favorites. In the past, I was easily provoked by rude comments. I would try to explain, justify, or even retort. But then I realized that sometimes the best way to win is not to fight. Silence is a superpower that helps you control your emotions, conserve energy, and maintain your self-respect. Eyes, often called the windows to the soul, can also be sharp weapons in the art of communication. A silent gaze, though wordless, carries immense weight and can extinguish any provocation. It acts as a sturdy fortress, shielding you from harsh words, while also reflecting the immaturity of the other person's behavior. That gaze, non-judgmental, unaccusing, but quietly exuding calmness, confidence, and strength, makes others uneasy, compelling them to self-reflect and retreat in embarrassment. Confronting with silence is far wiser than diving into fiery conflicts. The highest form of punishment is not loud condemnation, but chilling silence. The deepest form of revenge is not hatred, but complete indifference. When you cast a piercing gaze at someone, it leaves them flustered and slightly fearful. Provocative people often crave a reaction. They want to see you squirm, rage, or retaliate. This lets them pull you into their game, where they control the narrative. But when you remain silent, looking at them without a word or expression, the balance of power shifts immediately. They are disarmed, standing awkwardly on a battlefield with no opponent. The author Mo Yan once said, "Those who don't respect you simply disregard you. It's not because they are straightforward, but because their hearts are full of indifference. So don't argue with those who don't understand you. And don't try to sway those who look down on you. The best approach is to ignore them and move on as if they don't exist." Silence is not cowardice, nor is it arrogance. It is understanding, the art of letting go, and a way to cleanse the soul and strive for a nobler life. Silence is when you see through others, realizing that arguing is often a waste of time and energy. So next time you encounter someone who enjoys playing dirty, remember this secret weapon. Be silent, look them straight in the eye, and let your composure speak volumes. You'll be surprised by the extraordinary power it holds. Stop explaining your choices. Our lives are a series of decisions, from mundane daily choices to life-changing milestones. And it seems that every time we make a decision, big or small, curious eyes, probing questions, and even unsolicited opinions follow from those around us. People wonder why you chose this path and not another, why you did this instead of that. Why did you quit that job? Why didn't you come to the party? Why did you choose this car? They act as though they have a right to know the reasoning behind every choice you make, as if you owe them an explanation. But the truth is, your life is yours, and you have every right to live it as you see fit. You don't owe anyone an explanation or justification for your choices, whether they involve your education, career, relationships, or marriage. The freedom to choose is a sacred right, and no one can take that away from you. Sometimes your decisions might go against the expectations of family, friends, or even societal norms. For instance, leaving a stable, high-paying job at a prestigious Wall Street bank to pursue your dream of becoming a fashion designer, or selling a luxurious city center villa to buy a small piece of land by the sea and live in a simple wooden house close to nature. Many of your life choices may become the subject of nosy questions or mixed opinions from people around you. It often feels as though everyone has a personal opinion on how you should live your life. Some might even go so far as to demand explanations for your decisions as if your choices are their business. They may think you're crazy, impractical, or wasting your talent. They'll present countless arguments to convince you to change your mind. However, listen to your heart, trust yourself, and courageously follow your passions. Only then can you live a fulfilling and meaningful life. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why you believe in what you do. If someone can't accept who you are because of your personal views, that's their problem, not yours. Your unique perspective on what makes you and your loved ones truly happy is your priority. We're all individuals with different values, dreams, and aspirations. Your priorities won't always align with others. You don't need to explain why you sold everything to travel the world on a small boat, or why you left a corporate job to start a farm in the countryside. That's your private matter, not theirs. Sometimes you may feel a bit rude, different, or distant when cancelling plans or obligations because you need time alone to recharge, relax, or simply enjoy a favorite book. However, taking time for yourself is entirely normal, natural, and necessary. There's nothing wrong with turning down outings with colleagues or drinks with friends because you need solitude, even if others label you a spoilsport or disloyal friend. Remember, you don't owe anyone an explanation for your life. Live it your way, listen to your heart, and make the choices you feel are right. The beauty of not explaining lies in the freedom it brings. When you stand firm in yourself, understanding that your decisions are valid simply because they are yours, you stop wasting energy trying to please others. Instead, you focus on living an authentic life, a life crafted by you. The deeper lesson here is that your life doesn't need an audience's approval. Not every decision needs to be dissected or agreed upon. When you stop explaining, you subtly declare to the world, I trust myself and my choices. I don't need your permission. Maintain distance. You have every right to manage the relationships in your life. Don't feel pressured to be close with everyone, especially those you don't truly like. Keeping your distance from them is not an act of rudeness or coldness. It's simply a way to protect your energy and inner peace. Imagine your life as a private room where you have full control over who gets to enter. You don't have to open the door to everyone, only welcome those who bring you comfort and joy. Much like organizing furniture in a room, you can arrange the relationships in your life. Devote your time and energy to people you cherish, those who bring you happiness and support. For those you don't like, you can minimize interaction, set clear boundaries, and choose how to invest your time and emotions. Don't hesitate to decline invitations, limit conversations, or avoid situations where you feel you have to force yourself to please others. You don't owe anyone an explanation or indulgence. You have the right to choose who gets access to your life and who deserves your precious time and energy. Don't confuse maintaining distance with hostility or coldness. It's simply a way to honor yourself, safeguard your inner peace, and preserve your mental energy. Stay calm. When someone disrespects you, an emotional reaction often feels like the easiest response. However, this rarely leads to a positive outcome. Emotional reactions often stem from hurt or anger and can escalate the situation, leaving you feeling out of control. Instead, choose to respond a deliberate, calm, and composed action. Responding is not a sign of weakness, it's a display of inner strength and maturity. To achieve this, take a moment to pause, breathe deeply, and give yourself time to assess the situation. Ask yourself, does this truly matter? Will my next words or actions resolve the issue or make it worse? That moment of stillness is your power. It helps you maintain your self-respect and shows others that you cannot be easily shaken by negativity. When you choose to respond rather than react, you reclaim control over your emotions. Don't allow anyone the power to dictate your mood or behavior. A calm yet firm response can diffuse tension and send the message that you know your worth and will not be easily swayed. This self-control not only helps you handle the situation wisely, but also earns respect from those around you. Remember, the greatest satisfaction doesn't come from winning an argument, but from maintaining peace of mind. A calm mind is a strong mind. You don't need to shout or get angry to prove your point. Your calmness and composure are the strongest answers. It's how you affirm your value and build lasting respect both for yourself and from others. Establish personal boundaries. Establishing boundaries is a crucial skill for protecting your self-respect and value when dealing with people who disrespect you. Boundaries help you define what is acceptable and unacceptable in how others treat you. When you set boundaries, you're sending a clear message that you value yourself and expect others to respect you. This not only reduces unnecessary tension and conflict, but also strengthens your confidence and inner power. Sometimes implementing boundaries can be challenging, especially when dealing with acquaintances or loved ones. However, staying firm and consistent in upholding your limits is key to building healthy, respectful relationships. Remember, you have every right to say no and distance yourself from those who don't bring positivity to your life. Think of boundaries as a protective circle that outlines your limits and resolutely defends your territory. Do not allow anyone, even those closest to you, to invade your personal space, emotions, or self-esteem. Setting boundaries isn't a confrontational battle, but rather a journey of self-assertion. It's not about erecting rigid walls with words, but about cultivating a strong inner kingdom built on core values, deep beliefs, and unwavering self-respect. Keep in mind that boundaries are not something you impose on others, but principles you establish for yourself. They act as a compass, guiding you through life, helping you choose what to embrace and what to avoid, all to protect your inner peace and preserve what's important to you. When you live authentically and remain steadfast in your values, boundaries naturally form. You become strong and steadfast, like an ancient oak tree, deeply rooted and resilient in the face of life's storms. Initially, setting boundaries may be met with resistance. Controlling individuals might resort to all sorts of tactics to challenge you, from sweet persuasion to anger, manipulation, blame, or even threats. But don't falter. Stand firm and remain committed to your choices. Show confidence and strength. When someone disrespects you, they aim to plant seeds of doubt in your mind, making you feel small and weak. They want to see you shrink, lower your gaze, and lose confidence. But do you know what truly unsettles them? It's when you hold your head high, standing firm like a mountain against their toxic winds. Your confidence emits a powerful energy, making disrespectful people feel uneasy. They rely on manipulating your emotions and controlling you with hurtful words and actions. But when you're immune to their provocations, when you refuse to let their disrespect affect you, you shatter their entire strategy. You stand tall, head held high, not to appear arrogant, but to affirm your worth. You declare to the world, I know who I am. I'm proud of myself, and nothing can shake me. Your composure leaves them disoriented, causing them to doubt their own strength. They're like puppets with their strings cut, rendered powerless and ineffective in the face of your resilience. Remember, your greatest power lies within. When you believe in yourself, love yourself, and remain true to your values, no one can defeat you. You are invincible. There was a time when I worked at a small cafe and regularly interacted with a customer who always made subtle, disparaging comments. Every time I brought their drink, they'd say something like, "Oh, you look less tired today than yesterday," accompanied by a knowing smirk. At first, I tried to brush it off, thinking they were joking. But over time, those remarks made me feel small, and I started dreading their visits. One day, I realized I couldn't continue letting someone else control my emotions. I decided to change my approach. I straightened up, stood taller, and smiled confidently. The next time they made a snide comment, I didn't react as before. Instead, I looked them in the eye, kept my smile, and calmly replied, "Oh, thank you, but I actually feel fantastic today." Then I carried on with my work, unbothered. Interestingly, they seemed caught off guard. They tried the same comments a few more times, but when they saw I wasn't fazed, in fact, I seemed happier, they lost interest. Gradually, those remarks stopped altogether, and I noticed their demeanor shifted. They no longer looked at me with the same air of superiority. Instead, they behaved more courteously. I realized that when you refuse to let others' words affect you, you strip them of their strongest weapon. Your confidence and self-control can completely transform the energy of any situation. It's as if you're wearing an invisible armor that deflects negativity. This not only strengthens you but also forces those who disrespect you to face the truth. They can't control you, and they hate that. When dealing with people who disrespect you, the most important thing is to hold firm to your self-worth and not allow their words or actions to define who you are. Disrespect from others does not reflect your value, it only reveals who they are. However, the way you respond to them speaks volumes about you. Remember, respect is not something you can beg for or force. It is something you build and protect through your attitude and actions. Handling disrespect requires tact, patience, and wisdom. Setting clear boundaries is the first step to shielding yourself from negative influences. Learning to say no or maintaining your distance is not a sign of weakness but an expression of self-respect. At the same time, staying calm and in control of your emotions is key to avoiding being drawn into the psychological games they may try to play. Responding rather than reacting, using silence or carefully chosen words, allows you to maintain your confidence and avoid unnecessary conflict. More importantly, focus on what you can control. Instead of letting someone's words or actions discourage you, channel your energy into self-improvement, strengthening your confidence, and pursuing greater goals. Self-discipline and determination to live in alignment with your values will make you stronger. When you carry yourself with your head held high, no one can harm you unless you let them. Lastly, remember that while you can't always change how others treat you, you always have the power to choose how you respond. People who disrespect you often feel unsettled when you remain calm and confident, because it strips them of the power they thought they had. Live with self-respect, peace, and confidence. This is the most powerful way to confront anyone who disrespects you. On this journey, you'll realize that true peace and value come from within, not from the recognition or attitude of others.